If you've ever opened your closet and felt overwhelmed instead of overjoyed, or if you have a flowing mountain of things, yet you still feel the need to shop and buy more, keep watching. I'm going to share in today's video the reason why we're generally unsatisfied with the things that we own and what we can do about it. I'm going to share the techniques I use every January to do a closet reset. In this video, I'm mostly going to focus on handbags and accessories because that's what we talk about on this channel. But the great part about my closet reset is a lot of the techniques I'm sharing can easily be applied to other categories that you regularly shop, things like makeup, skincare, and even home decor. If you're new here, welcome and Happy New Year! I am Lula West, and this channel is for everyone who loves luxury and designer items, but also wants to make smart, thoughtful purchases. In every video, I aim to provide practical advice and thoughtful guidance to help you curate pieces that are true to you. If you haven't already subscribed, I hope you will click that button and join our community. Now, let's dive into today's video and the luxury closet reset. One common mistake I see when people feel overwhelmed by the things that they own is impulsively getting rid of things and downsizing just for the sake of downsizing. Trust me, I have made this mistake in the past. I thrive on order and organization, and I have definitely gotten into those cleaning frenzies where everything must go, and I just impulsively get rid of things that I sometimes later come back to regret. Good news, this video is not about downsizing because that doesn't always get to the root cause of the problem. What I have found is that when we feel overwhelmed by our things, it's not necessarily that we have too much stuff, it's that we don't have the right stuff. We are always changing and evolving. Our lifestyles and our seasons of life change. And sometimes the things we purchased 5, 10, 15 years ago that are still in our closet don't support who we are today. So I find that when we're feeling overwhelmed, it's because we're not in alignment and there's a disconnect between the things we've purchased in the past and who we are today. So what we're going to do with the closet reset is not approach it with the mindset of downsizing or decluttering, but rather approach it with the mindset of getting in alignment. The closet reset techniques I'm going to share in today's video are 3 simple steps. First, we're going to assess all the items in our closet or in our collection and figure out what we're going to keep. We're going to assess our items on 3 simple criteria to figure out what we're keeping. Once we have those items set aside for step 2, we're going to figure out what to sell or let go of. If you have trouble deciding what to sell or let go of, I'm going to share one simple test I use. It is one question I ask myself to figure out if I'm ready to let go of an item. And finally, to wrap everything up, I am going to share for step 3 what we need to stop buying in 2026 to break free of this cycle. Step 1, what to keep. In my personal experience, this has always been the easiest part of the process because what you're going to do is keep the items you use on a regular basis. And you know what items you use on a regular basis. You know your go-to everyday pieces. You also know the pieces that you regularly use every fall and winter or every spring and summer. So, what you're going to do is you'll want to quickly do an audit of every item you own. You don't have to spend a ton of time on each individual item. Sometimes, if you know, you know, but you do want to go into your closet or wherever you store your pieces and physically look at and hold each item as you assess it. And we're going to keep this pretty simple. There's only three main criteria I use when assessing whether to keep my items. Number one, is it functional? This is the most important criteria for me. Anything I keep in my closet has to be something I'm actually going to use. When it comes to handbags, there's three things I look at. Number one is the way I carry it, the strap options and the carrying options. Is it something that's actually comfortable to carry and wear for an extended period of time? I also like to look at the functionality of getting in and out of the bag. Is it something that's actually easy to use when I need to get my items in and out? And how does it fit all of my items? The third thing I look at is the weight of the bag. Is this something that's not too heavy for me when I have it filled to capacity? So, number one, is it functional? I also find that this criteria works really well for small leather goods and accessories, especially things like wallets. I used to have a ton of wallets. I don't know why. A few years ago, I just bought a lot of wallets for whatever reason, but I found that not all of my wallets were functional for me. Some of them were too big. And I also sold a lot of my very small compact wallets because I found that I had to downsize what I carry in order to use those wallets. So they just weren't functional for me. Number two, does it fit your current lifestyle? And what you want to ask yourself when you're assessing this is, where would I actually wear this item today? Where am I going? What am I doing that I am actually going to use this piece? And how often do I find myself in that situation? There are certain pieces that have really clear-cut situations where you use them, things like a backpack or a diaper bag, and they're really closely tied to a certain season of life, and it's easy to identify when you've outgrown that item. Other pieces are a little trickier, so I really like to imagine specific situations and places where I am going that I am actually using those bags and how often I find myself in those situations or going to those places. So that's how I like to assess whether an item will fit my current lifestyle. Finally, when you hold that item and look at it, what's your emotional response? Does it still excite you? While we want our pieces to be practical and functional, and we want to keep things that we are actually using, these are fashion accessories, so we do still want them to be fun to use and enjoyable and have some sort of excitement when we think about these things. So that is my third criteria. What is my emotional response to this item? Do I still like it? And am I still excited to actually use it? Step two, what to let go of. These are the pieces that are making us feel overwhelmed instead of overjoyed. The first category that you need to let go of are any hype driven impulse purchases or trend pieces. If they don't align with your personal style, we are all influenced to buy things. We all see trends and we all tend to get swept up in trends from time to time. So it's really important to look at those items and ask yourself, does this actually align with my personal style? Is it easy for me to pair and style this item with other pieces in my wardrobe? Or is this something I maybe was influenced to get, but it doesn't quite work for me? Instead of trying to force something into your life, I think it's important to recognize that maybe there's a little disconnect if you were influenced to buy a trend piece, and let it go. One point I really want to make when thinking about this category of items is to not keep something just because it's iconic. I heard a lot of people use this as a justification for purchasing things from the Louis Vuitton collaboration with Murakami last year. A lot of people purchase things, and one justification that I kept hearing come up time and time again in different videos was, it's iconic. Yes, it is certainly iconic, but that doesn't mean it's something that necessarily goes with everyone's personal style, or that the pieces work with whatever season of life you're in. It's really important to look at, does this item actually work with my personal style, or is this something I'm trying to force because I feel like I should own it because it's really popular and it's trending? The second category to get rid of are any items that do not meet your real life needs. If you need to change something about yourself in order to use an item, get rid of it. For example, if I need to downsize what I usually carry in order to use a specific wallet or a specific bag, it's too small for me. Get rid of it. Do not feel like you need to, like I said, change something about yourself, or you need to edit out what you own so you can use a bag that's too small to meet your real life daily needs. Get rid of it. If there's any items that you're really unsure of whether you want to keep them or let go of them, I always recommend set them aside and come back to them again in the future. You don't want to impulsively let go of something and then you regret it and then you need to repurchase. So what I like to do is just set it aside and come back to it again in the future. If there's a few pieces that I'm not sure of, I like to write down a list of those pieces and I will pin it to my calendar in maybe like 3 to 6 months in the future so I can come back to it again and I'll do another assessment. I also like to look at whether or not I've used that piece in the last few months. Sometimes bringing a piece out again and using it will give you clarity as you use it. You'll remember why you really like an item or why you don't use it anymore, and a lot of times that will give me clarity. I also have one simple test I like to do, and it's the will I buy it again test. When I look at an item, I like to ask myself, would I actually buy this again today? Is this something that I like enough that I would buy it and add it into my closet today? And would I be willing to spend that amount of money on this item again today? It's just one question. It's a really simple test, but a lot of times that will also help provide me with the clarity that I need to make a decision. Part 3, what to stop buying. These are the categories of items that we need to stop buying so we can really focus on curating pieces that are true to who we are now. Number 1, trend and novelty pieces if they don't align with our personal style and our current season of life. These are those super trendy pieces, the novelty pieces that we are influenced to get, even though we know they're not really aligned with who we are, what our style is. I know that this can be really hard. I know I get sucked in from time to time, but I think we really need to focus on asking ourselves, am I being influenced to buy this because it's popular and it's trending right now? Do I feel like I should have this item and that's why I'm getting it? Or is it truly something that I can use in my day-to-day life? It will be easy for me to wear this with other pieces in my wardrobe. Number two, small leather goods in multiple colors. I am guilty of this. As I said before, I used to buy a lot of wallets. I don't know why. And if I really liked an SLG, I would buy it in multiple colors, but I found that I don't need multiples of a lot of items. If there's something you really like, I think two is the maximum. Maybe three if you're someone who likes to have a large collection and a large variety of items. But if there's a specific pouch that you like to use, like the mini pochette, or there's a certain type of wallet you like to use, honestly, I really don't think it's necessary to have more than two. I think buying duplicates of pieces just because it's in a cute color doesn't really cut it. The next category I think we need to totally cut out are accessories that we buy in order to justify an outfit instead of enhance an outfit. If there's an item that maybe is a one-off piece, we're having trouble styling it, so we're finding ourselves buying other items to justify that piece, don't buy the other item. Just get rid of the piece that isn't working for you. And finally, what to stop buying is any item that does not have a place to live in your closet. A lot of times we can feel very overwhelmed. Yes, when we have too many things and we don't have a proper place to store those pieces. So I always like to look in my closet before I buy something and figure out, where am I actually going to put this thing when I'm not using it? Does it have a place to live in my closet? If any of this resonated with you, please click that thumbs up button and like this video, and share in the comments which part you really connected with. And if you have any other helpful tips of your own, please share those in the comments as well so we can all learn from each other. In the meantime, I'll put another video up here for you to watch next, and I'll see you in the next one.